17 hours. The Strait of Hormuz. 21 nautical miles wide at its narrowest point. 152 freight ships, many of them supertankers loaded to their plimsoll lines with crude, are sitting dead in the water. Automatic identification system transponders blinking on every maritime operations screen from Bahrain to Brussels. The Strait of Hormuz, the artery through which 21% of the world's liquid natural gas and 20% of its oil flows every single day, has been surgically sealed by Iran. This is not a blockade. This is a trap. Since Operation Epic Fury launched on February 28, 2026, US and Israeli air power has reduced Iran's ballistic missile salvo rate by 70 to 85%. Khamenei is dead. IRGC command nodes across Tehran, Qom and Parchin have been turned to rubble. By all conventional metrics, Iran should be folding, but Iran's Revolutionary Guard Navy, the IRGCN, doesn't need to win. It only needs to hurt. And 21 miles of shallow, island-studded water gives them exactly the weapon they need. 0318. CENTCOM Watch Floor, Al Udeid Air Base, Qatar. Admiral Brad Cooper is staring at a tactical display that shows what his intelligence officers are calling a layered kill zone. 3 distinct threat envelopes nested like a Russian Matryoshka doll, each designed to defeat a different layer of US naval power. The Outer Ring, 43 Iranian IRGCN fast attack boats equipped with C-802 Noor anti-ship missiles and retrofitted with Shahed 136 loitering munitions in watertight deck canisters. Range, 120 kilometers. Sea-skimming attack profile at 0.9 Mach. The Middle Ring, Frog 7 and Khalij Far's ballistic missile batteries dug into the limestone cliffs of the Musandam Peninsula and the Iranian shoreline near Bandar Abbas. Each launcher camouflaged under thermal diffusion netting, the same cloaking technique IRGC engineers copied from North Korean tunnel doctrine. 1 ATACMS targeting pass couldn't find them. 2 passes couldn't find them. The Inner Ring, Manta pattern bottom mines, and SADAF 3 moored contact mines, seeded across the northern transit lane in a random, non-patterned dispersal that defeats standard route survey sweeps. US Navy MH-53E Sea Dragon mine countermeasure helicopters working the lane have already neutralized 14. They estimate 60 to 90 more remain. Admiral, says his intelligence officer, we have confirmation of a new threat layer. IRGCN Ghadar-class midget submarines. We're tracking at least 3 active signatures below the thermocline near Larak Island, armed with EM-52 rocket-propelled mines. Cooper looks at the display. Then he looks at the 152 stalled ships. Then at the Brent crude price ticker in the corner of the screen. $214 a barrel and climbing. He makes the call. Initiate passage restore, all assets, 72-hour window, go. 1342 hours. The MT Poseidon Leader, a Liberia-flagged VLCC carrying 2.1 million barrels of Saudi crude, powers up its engines for the first time in 29 hours. Behind it, a queue of 151 ships begins to move. The AIS constellation lights up like a time-lapse of a river unfreezing. Brent crude drops $19 in 4 minutes on the London Exchange. But in the cliffs above the strait, Iranian IRGCN forces are already moving, not retreating, repositioning, hauling new mine canisters up switchback mountain roads in the dark, bringing up replacement Khalij Far's batteries from hardened inland depots, dispersing the remaining fast attack boats into hidden bays and estuaries along the 1,500-kilometer coastline. The strait is open. The war is not over. CENTCOM knows what comes next. The IRGCN's strategy isn't to hold the strait forever. It's to close it, open it, close it again. A hydraulic pump on the throat of the global economy. Squeeze until the pressure causes a political fracture somewhere. In Washington, in Brussels, in Riyadh, that forces a ceasefire on Tehran's terms. At 14:01, a CENTCOM intelligence officer drops a single analysis slide on Admiral Cooper's desk. IRGCN mine inventory, 900 plus confirmed in coastal caches. Estimated time to reseed northern transit lane, 96 hours. Cooper stares at it for a long moment. Then he picks up the phone to SOCOM. Get me SOF options for those coastal roads. Because the only way to keep the Strait of Hormuz open isn't to sweep the mines. It's to destroy the people who keep laying them. And that requires boots on the ground, laser designators in the dark, and men willing to operate in a place where one mistake ends the mission and starts a war that makes everything so far look like a warm-up act. The ships are moving. The clock is already running. What would you do? Keep the strait open through air power and mines, or commit ground forces to neutralize the threat at its source? Because in the next 96 hours, this administration has to answer that question for real. And the entire global economy is watching the answer. 4:11 hours. USS Carl Vinson CVN 70, 80 nautical miles south of the strait. The flight deck erupts. FA-18F Super Hornets carrying a GM-84H Slammer precision strike missiles claw into the night sky on afterburner. Simultaneously, below decks, a Mark 41 vertical launch system begins a 32-second ripple-fire sequence. 8 BGM-109E Tomahawk Block 5 land attack cruise missiles punch upward through the warm Gulf air, their terrain-following navigation systems already locked onto IRGCN command nodes on Abu Musa Island and Keshem Island. Simultaneously, and this is the move that changes everything, a Triton MQ-4C maritime surveillance drone already orbiting at 55,000 feet hands off targeting data to 2 Virginia-class submarines lurking in the Gulf of Oman, the USS Indiana and the USS Delaware. Their UUVs, Remus 600 autonomous underwater vehicles, are already in the water. Their mission, map and neutralize the SADAF-3 minefield. On the Iranian coast, IRGCN fast attack boats scramble from their hidden fiberglass huts along the Bandar Abbas shoreline. Their AIS transponders are dark. Their radar emissions are minimal. They are operating in a total emissions control protocol, communicating via directional laser signal to avoid detection. They believe they are invisible. They are not. High above, an E-2D Advanced Hawkeye AEW and C aircraft working Link 16 with every surface and subsurface asset in the battlespace has already backtracked each boat's thermal wake via a FLIR sensor pass 2 hours earlier. The target packets are pre-built. The fire solutions are solved. The IRGCN commanders don't know it yet, but every boat that left its pen tonight already has a missile assigned to it. At 0447, the IRGCN executes their opening move. 12 C-802 Nor missiles erupt from the fast attack flotilla in a coordinated alpha strike. The missiles drop to 15 feet above the wave tops and begin their sprint profile toward USS Carl Vinson's task group. Iranian doctrine is saturation. Overwhelm the Aegis. Force the destroyer screens to exhaust their interceptors, then send the second wave. They've wargamed this for 30 years. At 0448, USS Paul Hamilton DDG-60 and USS Bunker Hill CG-52 open fire with RIM-174 standard extended range active missiles. 12 SM-6 interceptors claw off the rails. At the same moment, the Aegis combat system computes that 3 of the incoming Nors are tracking the tanker convoy, not the warships. The system automatically retasks 2 SM-6s without human input. The IRGCN never got to send a second wave.